Welcome everybody to How Fast Will It Go, and today we're dealing with the 1993 McLaren F1. Now this has 1,437 horsepower, 1,050 pounds-feet of torque from a 6.6 litre twin turbocharged V12 engine, and the car itself now weighs 2,722 pounds. It now has all-wheel drive and it can do 0 to 60 in 2.095 seconds and 0 to 104.387 seconds. So obviously this car in its stock form was far from a slow car, having a top speed of around 240 miles an hour in its original form. Now that wouldn't put it even on the bottom of the leaderboard on this series, but it's all about whether or not it could have got to that speed in the space that we have. I don't think it really would have been able to, but with all this extra power, we have more than twice the power it had originally, and yeah, also weighing less, and that all-wheel drive system. I really do think this has a chance of being the fastest car we've had on this series. Two reasons, not only because of the power and the lightweightness of the vehicle, but also because it's not quite so old that it's, you know, going to be unmanageable, but it's not so new that it's got complicated gearbox or anything like that that's going to hinder its top speed. So yeah, it should hopefully be a happy medium between the two. Nonetheless, let's get out there and see what it can do. Right, so yeah, let's see how quickly we can even get up to its original top speed, and then go from there. So yeah, already up to 220 as we come out of the tunnel, and there's its original top speed already smashed, and there's 270. We're now the quickest vehicle we've ever had on this series at 280. 281. Oh dear, it's an R390 got in the way there. Oh dear. Yeah, surprise surprise, this car can't go around a corner at more than 270 miles an hour. Who knew? Oops, Volkswagen getting in the way. Right, so 281 miles an hour is easily the fastest that we've had on this series by 8 miles an hour. Let's see if we can get even more out of this car. We still have a little bit of motorway left on this side, but then we'll have to go the other way and see if we can get even more out of this. But even so, 281 miles an hour, like I said, is easily the fastest that we've had on this series. So we've already more than succeeded with this episode. This car is incredibly good in terms of handling, even with all that extra power and speed. Took the wrong angle there. Should have gone on the outside of the Mini. So much traffic today. Weren't this much when we were doing the lightweight E-Type last episode. And once again, a Nissan R390 gets in the way, and we'll almost magnetise those things. Yeah, it does start to slow down once we get past the 270 mile an hour mark, which again, I guess is no surprise. The kind of airflow that we're dealing with at that kind of speed is unimaginable. Come on, can we get any faster than we've already gone? Car slightly lifted up on two wheels then when we went around that corner, which just shows how much grip this vehicle has and how much quick it's going. Oh dear, let's get a better angle on that and we can maybe get even faster. No, we're not, we're actually riding the wall of the tunnel. Oh dear. Oh well, 281 mile an hour is all we're going to get out of this, and I say that lightly because obviously that is the fastest vehicle we've had on this series. And yeah, that's incredible, really. It really is, especially considering this is, you know, far from the newest vehicle we've had on this series. But yeah, 281 mile an hour there. So yeah, that's, like I said, 8 mile an hour quicker than the Porsche 911 Carrera S, 10 mile an hour quicker than the Hot Wheels Twin Mill, and 11 miles an hour quicker than the Honda NSX-R GT, which is, all two of those are obviously newer than this and one of them's older, but the Hot Wheels Twin Mill is kind of like a you know, one-off kind of thing. It's really not a proper car. There is a real version of it, but it's not a proper vehicle like this was. So yeah, that's really impressive. And yeah, granted, it's only about 40 mile an hour quicker than what it could do originally, but you know, you're asking a lot from it to deal with all that extra power, torque, less weight, and the all-wheel drive system. So yeah, the fact it's able to do that kind of speed with, you know, very little in the way of modifications, because obviously I've only been able to do some slight handling upgrades, is mightily impressive. And the fact it was able to do that kind of speed as well while dodging in and out of traffic and going around corners as well with very little in the way of understeer or oversteer is again mightily impressive. So yeah, not sure if we're going to be able to beat this. So yeah, we'll have to look at what, you know, the kind of interesting vehicles that can do the kind of top speeds, because plenty of vehicles on this series have been, you know, the kind of mid-engine rear-wheel drive supercars that we've seen before, but it'll be interesting to see what kind of more, you know, slower kind of vehicles from their stock form can do in comparison to these hypercars and supercars. But nonetheless, this McLaren has done an incredible top speed, and yeah, easily one of the fastest cars we've ever had on this series, either in this game or previous games. Nonetheless, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.